Well guys, Splendid didn't come in the package, but hold on. Hey, John. Alright, anyway. I'm firing up the computer. Package came. Now, what's in the package? Remember I was talking about a power supply for a while? Well, I don't like popping them, but they take up a lot of room in the trash if you don't. 2 motors. Remember I told you I need a low torque, 12 volt low torque, slow revolution. Well, one of these is 9 revolutions per minute and the other one is 5 revolutions per minute. And they're supposed to be reversible. Where the hell did that water come from? Well, it's not gonna, oh, I know what it was. I had a couple of filters mask, and they were outside and it rained last night. So that's what those are. So we'll go through those in a minute. And here's a relatively inexpensive power supply. If it works, which I think it's going to, I'm going to be all set. So let's take a look at this first. This is going to go on the workbench over there. This is not a power supply that I would normally buy to run anything. But because it is supposedly veritable on amperage or voltage and amperage, and it's a 10 amp, which is probably going to give me about 7.5 amps continuous. It'll be a pretty good little supply to work on a bench with. Let's put it that way. And there's a set of clips. It has both banana plugs, so you can just plug in, and they loosen up so you can put the little U-clips on it and tighten them up. Hold on guys, we'll see what happens. I don't know if you guys know Larry 24 or not, but he's studying for his ham ticket. So I wish him luck. It can be fun. It really can. Especially as you start, well, even in the young crowd, but as you start getting older and you start looking for things to do, that, you know, to keep you occupied and such, and you know, being a ham operator is, you know, it's okay. You don't have to buy super expensive equipment, but other than that, Larry is, I think he's going for his general, he said. Alright, so here's what we have. On. Now, coarse and fine, meaning if you want to tune your voltage, well, I would think anyway. Okay. Here we go. You want to start tuning your voltage up or down, you can do it quickly with the coarse, or you can kind of like really get touchy with it with the fine. You know, you can like here it would be tough to go like 1 volt at a time. I mean, you can do it. Here you can go 1 volt at a time easily. And the same with the so-called amperage. So let's see. Let's see how it works. The only thing they did here was they sent me 2 of the same thing. Now that was kind of dumb. On the cords. The test leads. It takes a banana plug lead as well as these little U-shaped clamps, and they send me 2 of the U's and no bananas. Not a big deal. However, the bananas would have been nice. Yeah. So let's put these on here and make sure we put them on right. Black to black, red to red. I can still use the banana plugs, so that's not a big deal. There. Okay, so right now this is set for 11.8 volts. I don't think these are gonna, no, it's not gonna help hold that up. Will that help? Probably not. I don't think you're gonna be able to see that from up there. Which would be perfect if you could. But I don't think it's gonna happen. Alright, so now let's get the meter out and check it against the fluke. Now like I say, it says 10 amps, but that's going to be its surge, it's not going to be its continuous. Okay, this is showing 11.8. On the fluke, it's shown 11.72. That's not too bad. That's not going to blow anything up. Let's take it up to 12. 11.96. Okay. So just needs a minute to stabilize. Okay, there it is. Yeah, alright. So that's that. Amp wise, I haven't got anything on it to actually put a drain, so I don't know. So we'll find something that has 12 volts that has a little bit of a drain. So let me see here. What do I have? Right. When I do need something, I can never find it. When I don't need it, it's always here. I want something that's going to be 12 volts that I can hook up. Oh, I know what I can use. It's not going to give me very much. This may not be the piece for testing this. But let's disconnect the meter for a minute and let's hook up this bulb. It's a LED, so it doesn't draw a lot of juice. Okay, well you can't see it, but well, let me see here. There's got to be a way of. Let me bring it down here. Alright, so that bulb is drawing 0.0 amps, 0.04 amps and 5 amp. Now, is this thing adjustable for amperage? That's what I want to know. Amps, if I bring it to amps, then this should be adjustable for amperage, I'm thinking. I got to read the book because we got this here. And now we just turned the voltage off, but we're on amperage. So let's bring this back up. We don't need 18 volts. So let's bring this down a little bit. That's 8 volts. take it up to 12 or thereabouts. There. Alright, so now it looks like at 12.1 or 12 volts, it's drawing 0.05 amps. And that's not too bad. I do want to try something heavier on it though to find out what it actually does. See, what's good about the Veritable? Now this one here is 0 to 30. Supposed to be anyway. Yeah, 0 to 30, 0 to 10 amps. Normally you don't need a 0 to 30, you know, a 9 to 15. I mean, it's about where you're at most of the time, or 6. But when you want to send a signal through a voltage signal through a radio or something, and you want just a tweak of voltage just to kind of see where you're losing the voltage at, this is kind of like would be good for that. Now, I may not explain that perfectly, but you kind of get an idea, I think, what I was talking about. Alright, so let's put this back up here. Let me see if I can find something that has a little bit more voltage. Or amperage.
I'm so proud of where she is today and the work that she's putting to get here. So to have it easy.
I'm excited for this. I'm excited. I think this is going to be amazing. I think we have great opportunity. I definitely feel that this is a void that we need to fill. It's going to be great.
Oh, this sucks. Yeah, this may work. This used to be an old battery-powered flashlight by Moyobi. Right? I put a lighter plug adapter on it. I don't know. Sometimes both sides are negative, sometimes just one side is negative. Here we go. Okay, this is drawing 0.47 amps. And actually, I just brought up to 29 volts, which means that battery wouldn't last for long. Not the battery, but the bulb. See what I mean? That's 14. That's 12. That's 30. And that wouldn't last long at that. Okay, there's 12 volts. And it's drawing 0.47 amps. Alright, now what happens when I turn this way? What happens? I gotta read the book on this thing. I'm trying to figure out why I have an amperage control here, but I don't know. Having the amp meter to tell me what's drawn is fine, but why do I have a variable control on it? So, alright, so anyway, this is going to work, I think, quite well on the bench. Again, it's not a big heavy-duty supply, you know, but it'll work for small things. So if you've got a radio that says if you got a radio that says it draws 4 amps, or yeah, 4 amps, this would be okay. If you have one that says it needs 10 amps, well, this is 10 amps, but it's not going to give you 10 amps, so it's only going to give you around 7. You got to remember, you got to lose a few, and the more amps that it is, the more you lose. So, all right, so that's how that works. So I'm going to have to look at the book and figure out what it is with that real quick. But we'll play with that at another time once I get the bench set up. So let's unplug this. Turn it off over here. Over here. Alright, now, these are the motors.